This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host, I'm your guide, as together we cross this time-space continuum to a place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. That's xzbn.net. And around the world on the Starcom Radio Network. Worldwide toll-free 800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to the X-Zone 24/7, 365 at www.xzoneradiotv.com. My first guest tonight is Nancy Fortier. She is a psychic. She is a medium. She does angels, archangel guides, auras, past life regression, medical intuitive, dreams, and intuition. It's going to be a very interesting hour. Joining me now from near Sauble Beach, Ontario, is Nancy Fortier. And Nancy, welcome to the X-Zone. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me. When or how did your quest, this voyage that you're on now within the psychic realm, start? Oh, boy. I have to say that now that I have done the research and done the work and from everywhere, it appears that it came from when I was about 3 months old. My mother said she found me, I wasn't breathing. And she just panicked and grabbed me and shook me a little bit. And she said I came to. But I was gray, so she didn't know how long that I was out for. And oh, my heavens. Yeah. She said that everything changed after that. Even though I was 3 months old, I had unexplainable fevers all the time, dreams waking up, people talking to me while I'm sleeping and waking up, and they're still talking to me. Like I said, unexplainable fevers. It was really scary. But I didn't know what it was at the time, and neither did my mother. And we've since shared and figured out what was what since I started walking this path. I have to say it's not something I sought out. No way. It's actually something I ran away from. I didn't want people to know that I could do these things because I didn't want people to think that I was crazy, because I thought I was crazy, being able to hear people that are not there. See things that other people aren't seeing. I became sheltered. I started closing away from everyone. I could see things about people, and I didn't like what I saw. I saw so many things that were going to happen. Or people that someone really, like if you're in a crowd, I remember being in a crowded room and everybody drawn to this one male figure. And I just thought, oh my God, how can they all like him? He's horrible. But I had nothing in the physical to back that up. And I just couldn't understand why so many people would be drawn to that person, right? And how could they not know? And so then, yeah, it just,
oh my God, there's just so many things that I could talk about that had happened. Like always being told that I was a daydreamer in school. Every single report card, I've gone back and looked. Nancy is a daydreamer. She would just apply herself. Well, of course I was daydreaming. I'm getting images and movies for every person that I'm looking at.
Oh my gosh.
So,
what was your first experience as a professional when you decided to do this full time, that you realized you could not run away from your gift? Your gift was with you for the rest of your life, whether you wanted it to be or not. You sat down and said, may as well do it because I'm not going to outrun it.
It caught up with me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who was a roommate for a little while, and we spent a lot of time together, and she said to me, she goes, Nancy, do you realize that you basically do everything intuitively? Like there's no rhyme or reason until, like you turn left when we should turn right, and you make decisions with next to no like it just, everything always would work out.
Right.
And she said, have you not realized this about yourself? And I said, no. And she says, and when I'm sad, you can feel it. You'll come and you'll see me and you'll know how other people are feeling. And I said, I don't think so. I'm not aware of this. Right. And so she met me. She said, I want you to meet someone. And this woman was an empath. And at the time I didn't know what an empath was. And they asked me a series of questions and how I felt in an elevator. And I says, well, by myself, I'm fine. But sometimes when I'm in an elevator with other people, I start to feel anxiety or panic and there's no reason for me to feel that way. And, they asked me a series of other questions and they both looked at me and said, you're an empath. And I said, no, I'm not, whatever that is. Right. So then I did the research and realized that I have been walking on a planet knowing things about people, just like if someone's wearing a red sweater, I feel that they know that person has maybe lost a child,
right,
or has just lost their job, or they're going to get married soon, or a special day for them. I just know all that stuff about them, just like they're wearing that red sweater. So I thought everyone knew that stuff too.
Wow. So you've been on quite a path. It must have been very hard on you, basically living in two realms.
Yeah, but I didn't know I was living in two realms. I just thought, I thought I was like everyone else. So then I started to learn how to shut down feeling everyone else's emotions. And
right.
What I would do is every day I would pick only one emotion that I would feel from other people that day. And I would feel that, and I would pinpoint. I would go in a public place like a Walmart or a Loblaws or something, and I would literally know where it was coming from and what was going with them. And that's when I started to really, I couldn't stop exploring after that. It just was, and I've always had this need to help people. I've had so many jobs. I've gone to school for so many different things, and it just never, ever panned out. At one time I had 3 jobs. And they're all my own. Like I was cleaning homes. I was a travel agent, and I was working and selling, Arbonne. And, I was, very successful, very happy. And every single one of them, it was like almost simultaneously, they were all taken from me. And the cleaning was because I ended up with osteoarthritis in my spine.
Ooh.
So I felt like I was cornered. And here I am walking around, and, if I can walk into a house and tell you what has happened there, and if there are any spirits, it's like I would go in and I would know if someone was battered. They wouldn't even have to be in the house, but the energy is still there. And I recognized that I could do that when I started looking to buy a house. Every house I walked into had a story,
Right. So here you are, you're a young lady. You were searching. And how did it feel once all the pieces started fitting together and you knew exactly what was going on? It must have been one heck of a relief for you.
Yes, it was, because I thought, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Well, some people still think I am. When I finally decided that I was going to do this, someone very close to me had said that, you're helping people a little bit with this, your friends and family and whoever crosses your path. But, you should seriously think about doing this professionally. And before you do so, look at the ones that are successful in what they're doing and do it.
Good advice.
So, yes. And you know what? That's what I did. I exposed myself on all the networks. I called it literally exposing and before I could do that, I had to make sure that my connection and my faith with a higher power was very, very solid, because this is a walk that you do on your own.
Yeah.
And so I did it. And it was, I remember I exposed myself. It was October of 2013. And on Facebook is where it really went absolutely beyond. I could not believe it. It just went insane. I started posting these cards face down. And I find that now everybody's doing it. And, I'd ask people to choose one or two and based on their intuition and their higher self. And it just took so well that now I have about 73,000 fans there.
Right.
And it's just been a lot of fun, and a lot of people there really feel they're getting help. It's one of the best parts of my day is posting that in the morning, and then the results and the meanings in the evening. It's a free reading that I give to everyone, and based on the feedback, people absolutely love it. So, I did the research, and I thought, and I remember the day that I posted that one card, I almost didn't press that enter key. I had a little bit of fear just for a moment, and I thought to myself, Nancy, are you going to listen to your fear, or are you going to listen to your higher self?
And obviously you made the right choice, my dear.
Go ahead.
I said, obviously you made the right choice.
I think so.
Yeah. Tell me, what happened in addiction?
In addiction, I found that I didn't want to hear. I wanted to be numb, and I didn't want to see or feel anything anymore. I had gone through a lot of painful situations in childhood and adolescence, and I found out since then, so it's been about 10 years now that I've been clean and sober, but I found out that I couldn't deal with my pain, and I found that alcohol or a drug was the fastest way not to feel it.
Quick fix.
Yes, but it obviously was the wrong answer because it ended up almost killing me.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. That's what they do, right?
But obviously, you learned from it. You grew from it. Is
Absolutely.
it possible? Is it possible that this was part of your life lesson, that you had to go down that road in order to get to the final destination that you're still working on?
Oh, yes, for sure. I do so many readings on a weekly basis, and the readings are global. So it's not just one-on-one in front of me.
Right.
They're from all over the planet. And I do them via inbox or email, Skype, FaceTime, phone. And I've recognized that there has to be at least 80% of the sessions have something to do with addiction, whether they have the addiction or someone they love has the addiction. And it always seems to come, and it always seems to come through for help. And I don't normally give up my anonymity unless it's to help people.
Right.
I take sobriety very seriously. And like I said, without it, if I hadn't have gone through that, I would have never sought out a higher power.
Thus the lesson. The teacher will come when the student is ready, and obviously you were ready.
Yeah.
I understand that when you do sessions, you go through death experiences. Why? Sometimes family members or loved ones that are passed away
especially if the one that I'm on the phone with or the one I'm doing a session with has been there at their time of death, will take me through that death. Like I know what a heart attack feels like. And, you know, there's a pain in the back. It's not actually all in the front. There's suffocating, knowing when that their throat was obstructed. I ask now for that. I'm so quick at knowing exactly as soon as it starts that I don't need to go through the entire thing anymore like I used to before, because I just needed to know the end result. And people would always confirm, yes, that's how they passed. Also, a lot of missing people. You know, I would tend to dream about them, and they would contact me later on during the day. They're the loved one looking for them. You know, so I would always know that they were passed. I have gone through drowning, and that ended up being there's a panic, and then there's a peaceful moment there. So it's always to confirm, you know, that yes, I am in fact channeling them. You know, they're not telling me how they died. I describe how they died to them, right?
Right.
So some of them I feel are more physical in the reading and making me feel things, and others like to make me hear or just know, or they show me things, and that's one of them. That's the feeling one. So I have gone through violent deaths as well. And ended up helping families to accept and heal over those murders, and those are the most difficult to pull away from.
How do you maintain your sanity if you are, when you're doing your mediumship and you're going through the death experience of a person? You know, doesn't it take its toll on you personally?
Well, first of all, what's sanity?
Something
we could have an hour discussion on
something
that.
obviously you and I don't have, so we don't need to discuss that.
Well, this is how I do it. It's meditation really taught me how to just be. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really involved.
Okay.
I describe myself as the cell phone. We're having a conversation on the cell phone. The cell phone doesn't remember the conversation. The cell phone is there, but it's. I think it's the best way to describe it.
Maybe you can help me understand this, because I've spoken to many mediums and no one has given me an explanation that I can understand. And I'm the kind of guy that I want to believe, but I'd like to understand it in order to believe it. So here's my question to you. How do you find the spirit of the departed who the person sitting in front of you wants you to channel in all of the ether out there? Mm-hmm. How do you find that one soul?
Well, that seems to be something that I specialize in, because I know that there are millions and billions of souls everywhere, right, all the time, simultaneously, whether in bodies or not. And it's just a matter of looking there. Now, remember how I said when I was 3 months old, I went there. I know exactly what there looks like. I can go there instantly, and it doesn't mean that I can't be here at the same time. You see, that's what I always find people make difficult, is they think that it's like it's got to be this really hard, difficult thing to get there. Well, it's right there. There's nowhere you have to go.
Is it just like going through another doorway?
Yeah, you could say it's like that, but it's even closer than that.
What's it like over there?
When you say that, I just hear a whole bunch of laughter. Because it's the same as here. You know, it's the soul.
All right, wait a minute. Are you telling me spirits are laughing at me?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We've hit an all-time low on this show, and the spirits and the ghosts laugh at you. There you go.
Well, I think they're laughing with you because I feel that you have a good sense of this, and I feel that you're intuitive yourself. And, you know, it's part of following a path.
Yes.
But like I said, they're right there. And so what I do is it's like some people say, you say their name. For me, it's just, I'm so open to it. And this is what I do. I make a room, okay? And I say, okay, all the spirits that are in the next sessions for today are going to go in this room. And there's rules in this room. And the first one is no negativity allowed. I won't even channel if it's going to be negative. And then the second one, then after that, what it is that it shows how to show me things quickly, because I connect very quickly and I have symbolisms for everything. So I know what they're talking about instantly and I get right to it. And so I always ask them before I start getting to it, they need to give me evidence of them. So whether it's a birthday or whether it's the day of passing, most times suicides give me the day before. It's very, very, because usually they have done or said things that day. They know the next day they're going to do it. What else do they do? Or they'll just show me what they look like.
Right.
I'll start to act or behave like them, talk like them. And the person on the other end, whether they're on the phone or whether they're sitting in front of me, they're just ecstatic. They know that it's them beyond a doubt, right? So I don't find that it's difficult. A lot of times I'll use pictures. I tend to get, it's like a movie that goes on. It's like when I look at someone or I am talking with someone, there's another movie going on. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on that I'm getting off of them. And unless I say anything, it's usually forgotten. So a lot of times I don't remember people's names because of that. When I'm being introduced, I'm getting all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, super. Now, how long are these sessions when somebody comes to see you for mediumship? How long do the sessions last?
A mini session lasts about 20 minutes, and a full session lasts about 40 minutes.
Wow.
I don't use cards or anything, so it happens instantly. A lot of times, as I'm clearing energy from the session before, I'm already in contact with the spirits for the next one. So I already know what's going to happen. I'm ready to go.
When you were talking about how you would put the spirits in the room and you'd say, I want this, that, you sounded like one of my teachers.
Yeah.
From elementary school. Robert, get over in that line and you behave yourself and stop throwing your mother's mushy tomato sandwiches at everybody.
Well, I'll tell you why I had to do that. It's because I wasn't getting much sleep. They were tugging at me or bugging me at nighttime, all excited for the next day. And so there's still a few that every once in a while I'll get woken up in the middle of the night or they'll come to me in my dreams because they're for the next day or they're the very next session. And so especially when I do big events or parties or big, large groups, I tend to have a lot more people bother me, and I need to sleep, so I'm not tired for the next day. So that's when I made this rule. And I find that, spirit has to listen. And that's what I love to teach, especially children, because I work with children for free. And I'll tell you that I teach children this, especially when they're getting bothered at nighttime and they're afraid of who's in their closet, and they see things or they describe people that I've described to their parents, separately, that, and so it just confirms a lot of stuff. And I always tell them that they're in charge. They say when, they say how. And if they don't want to be bothered, they won't be bothered. And most people don't know their power.
Well, that's because this topic isn't talked about openly and freely like it should. And I'm so happy to hear that you help children, because I remember many children and stories about children that I've heard both here on air and at symposiums and lectures I give. And the children are so intuitive naturally that for them it's an open book, whether they see angels, whether they communicate with those on the other side. Like, children have it all. And I think society has done children a disorder by not talking about this as much as They're starting to now. We still have a long way to go, but thank heavens you're doing this with children now, because I'm sure that a lot of children are benefiting greatly from your work.
Well, I hope so. I don't want them to go through the fear and the anxieties that I did as a child. I was very afraid. I always heard footsteps around me, especially before bed. It's like they were preparing to come in and visit me at nighttime, and it happened all the time. I would just wake up screaming, and it's when I exposed myself on Facebook. I had a babysitter. She's a little older than me, but she said, "Oh my God, is that what all those dreams were about?" You know, like she just, I hadn't realized how much how many people knew that I was going through this all the time, right?
Must have been very hard on you.
So when I always make sure that people know that with children, I think this is how I feel it is with the spirit world and children and animals. They don't know they're not supposed to see or see dead people.
Yep.
You know.
I agree. You know, children, my youngest, she used to have special friends. You know, and we didn't discourage it.
That's wonderful.
You know, because of what I do for a living. But even my grandson talked to us about angels. You know, and he was 3 or 4 at the time. You know, so the children are a lot more intuitive than a lot of people give them credit for. And they have the ability, because up until a certain time in their life, they aren't soiled by society, you know?
Yeah. I feel like they haven't forgotten. They're still very much in the pureness of their higher self.
What, in your opinion, based on all the mediumship you've done, happens to us when we die? What's the journey we take once we leave this physical body?
Well, from my experience of what I've seen and what I know and what I have asked that question many, many times, and in meditation have gotten some pretty, I don't even know what I'm ready to talk about it. But from what I can tell you is that it doesn't end here, and it doesn't even start here. This is part of our experience, and I really feel that, you know, the 5 senses of the body are what gives us, it's like a veil. It's like a veil. It doesn't make us see how things really are, because our soul has those same senses as our body, and that's where I go to do what I do, and that's why I can connect with your soul and get information that you need to have. And I can tell when people are sick. I can tell when they have cancer. I can tell if they have lung problems. It's like their cells are talking to me. And don't ask me how I can do that, except for the fact that my soul and your soul are one. And I feel that it's the same for everyone on this planet. You know, Einstein said it best. There's only one of us here.
There's only one of us here. Well, there's only one of us here that has to take a commercial break right now, and that's me, Nancy Fortier. Great having you with us. Please stand by, Nancy. Exonation, Nancy Fortier is our guest of this hour. Her website is www.nancyfortier.com, and that's NancyFortier.com. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network. That's xzbn.net. And on the Starcom Radio Network. Nancy Fortier and I will be back on the other side of this short commercial break set. Whatever you do, don't go away. Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com. Call him Reef. Reef is your host. Reef is your guide. Are you happy? Happiness is like trying to find water in the desert. Can you find any? Sometimes, sure, but only a few drops. God is an ocean of joy, but God is not cheap. You cannot find God in a chemical. You must attract God's attention. How? Not by living to please your senses. That is false ego. The Matrix is not real. It is a computer-enhanced hallucination. You are spirit soul, not the body. We have forgotten how splendid our home really is, the spiritual sky. For more information, visit rishasongofblue.com. That's www.reeshasongofblue.com. Fartlets, fartlings, pongies, and honkers. They have so many names, makes you go bonkers. Rear tempest, butt bubbles, bottom burps, all aside. Why does it smell like a little rat died? Hail the fart, whenever, wherever, whoever. Its existence actually enriches our lives because it gives us those unforgettable moments that we can all recall again and again that are always good for yet another laugh. A new expose on farting. Get your copy of The Endearing Fart by Eileen Dover at www.theendearingfart.com. How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com. The ability to access the knowledge of the universe is much easier for us to access than we may believe. Brad Johnson, conscious matrix communicator, is one of these unique individuals who is able to access a strong connection to the universal mind. Through his connection, Brad has assisted thousands of clients from all over the world through natural intuitive assistance. The intuitive information received is vast, covering a wide range of subjects. Brad's innate ability includes being able to access one's own universal matrix to help them realize their potential to create a life of profound greatness. One-on-one private sessions with Brad Johnson are available to anyone from around the world. Brad is also a proficiently trained psychic, Akashic Records reader, an online spiritual teacher, founder of his own unique and powerful healing system, Body Regeneration Healing, as well as a professional conscious channeler in communication with his own higher self-consciousness known as Adronis. For more information or to book a service appointment with Brad Johnson, visit his website at www.consciousmatrix.com. That's www.consciousmatrix.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Hi, this is Eric Rawls of Cosmoverse.com, and you're listening to Rob McConnell in the X-Zone.
Hi, this is Blade Runner, and you are listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, I'm Laura Sabrin of Feast to Fields Organic Vineyard in Jordan, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, my name is Lady Ashley, the White Witch of Niagara-on-the-Lake, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal talk radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget, Wednesday, September the 30th, 2015, a monumental debate here in the X-Zone. It's a Wednesday night, September 30th, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern. The great-great-great-great-great-grandfather of modern-day ufology. All right, maybe I said one or two greats too many times. Stanton T. Friedman is going to be debating Michael Horn, the North American representative for the Billy Meyer people, about the Billy Meyer case. So that is Wednesday, September the 30th, 2015, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the X-Zone Radio Show. And by the way, if you want to listen to what radio should sound like during the day, check out my good friend Ed Till. Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. right here on the Starcom Radio Network. Nancy Fortier is my special guest this hour. Her website is www.nancyfortier.com. Tell me, we talked about people. We made a brief mention about animals. But can you channel animals?
Well, the first time that I had channeled an animal, at first I didn't know that I was channeling an animal. I was drowning in a pool, and the woman across from me started crying, and she said that the week before she had just lost her German Shepherd, who'd got tangled up in the liner and drowned in the pool. And that's when I realized that I was channeling a dog. So after that, I started making that part of myself available. So I really feel there are no limits to spirit. Even people send me pictures of their horses or their animals that they're concerned about. If they may have pains Mm-hmm. And I can even get down to what they're feeding them and what they need to feed them and where their pains are. And it's always accurate. And then, like, I'm not a doctor or a vet, so I can't tell them, you know, how to fix it, but I most certainly can pinpoint what's going on.
Sounds like you're a one-stop shop for in the world of spirituality.
There are no limits to spirit. And
really?
So there's no limitations, anything can happen, right?
Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves angels. Everybody talks about angels, especially around Christmas time. But I believe that angels are around us all the time. I believe in angels. I truly believe in angels.
Yeah, so do I.
Tell me about your experience with angels.
My journey with angels started when I was feeling very, very fearful, lost, and afraid. Someone had asked me or told me to try asking Archangel Michael for help and protection and help against the fears that I had because, you know, I used to listen to fear way before I'd listen to anything else. So every decision was based and made by it. Yeah. And so that faith that Archangel Michael was always around me to protect me. I would even wear like indigo color, which is Archangel Michael's color, and that would remind me that I'm always safe in that, you know. I heard that there's something about people, they call them light workers, and they're directly workers of Archangel Michael. I don't know that much about all of that. I just know that with me, how Michael presents himself in a reading, and that's how I know that he walks with them, and they need to know that.
How do you know if Michael is walking with someone?
It's a feeling. And I'll see the image of what Michael looks like to me, and it's nothing like what I've seen on the internet. And like I said, I'll see the colors as well, along with the message of follow faith instead of fear, right?
Right.
And every angel has their own color for me. Even when I do energy work, I have a certain archangel that walks within me. And it's not like in the movies. It's not like that. I just know that that angel is taking over and doing the work. I'm not a healer, but for some reason, when I have someone in front of me that is needing some kind of physical, usually comes from a mental anxiety, I tend to know where to go, and I just listen to it. I trust it. I trust it more than anything else.
When you're talking about energy, are we also talking about the auras here?
What do you mean energy? Like when I said energy work?
Yes.
It's more like Reiki. It's about, I don't have a Reiki license, but I found out a little while ago that I've been doodling the heart chakra my entire life. And I had no idea that I was doing that. So when it comes to that, I call it energy work because I don't want to say that I'm a healer, although on my website I do describe what the healer part is. Because a lot of people tend to think, oh, what do you think, you're Jesus or something? And so I find that sometimes what happens is that words are signposts and they go directly to a judgment with a word, right?
Very true. So what is an aura? Is it part of the energy field or is it something totally different?
As far as I can tell, they do change, but sometimes I find that auras stay the same depending if that's like a job aura. I don't know how else to explain that because I'll see colors around people. And it'll tell me exactly, and I'll say, "Oh, you're working in the medical field. You know, you must be helping a lot of people, and this is how you are." And they say, "Yeah," and I says, "Well, I knew that because your aura was telling me that." And a lot of times, people who are passed away as well come through, and they'll show me a color and a word, and that gives me an insight as to what the person's going through. Like I find reds, people who need to feel empowered need to wear reds a lot. So the auras and colors that we see in our eyes are the same. I just feel like people are drawn to certain people to talk to go to and get help. And those people usually have a green aura. And so they say that they can't see their aura, but somehow they're drawn to that energy.
Interesting.
So part of them knows. They're just... I don't know how to explain that. Because
So do you do this oral work over the phone as well?
Yep.
Like, how do you do that if you can't see the person?
I told you, when I go in the session, it's in the soul has all of the same senses as the body. So I see with what someone may call their third eye, their imagination, as where I would see that. A lot of times people will send me their picture as well.
Right.
And that helps to connect a lot quickly as well. But even without a picture, it's just shown to me, right? A lot of people think their imagination is make-believe. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I can tell when information is being put in there and when I'm fabricating it.
Why would you fabricate it?
Well, like when you're not for like a reading, but I mean like if you're picturing something in your head.
Gotcha. Now, I understand that you also do something called personality numbers. What are they, and how can a person find out what their personality number is?
Well, personality number is basically adding up your entire birthday with the year, each number is separate, and getting to the total of that. A lot of times when I'm in session with people, I just know what the number is, and then we'll confirm it, by writing it down. The personality numbers, I find, really help people to learn more about themselves. I really find that more we know about ourselves, the easier life is. The more we understand ourselves, the less fearful we are, and the more we can do with our lives, right? We're all here to inherit the beauty and the bounties and everything from the planet. We're not here to suffer, right? So there's a certain book that someone had given me. I have a lot of books that people give me, and there's a certain few that I do get into that just really, really help. So I always suggest to people who aren't sure about their life path, even though I've given them some insight as to which direction to go into, I ask them to research their personality number, and usually confirms everything I've already told them and more, you see, for a short session, just to cover personality number. And I don't know every single little thing about the personality number, but I know that it will help them on their path.
So the personality number is part of numerology then?
I believe so.
Okay.
Like I said, I never really looked into it.
Right.
It just came to me that I would see numbers with people, and then I found out that it was their personality number.
Here's a question I love asking mediums, I love asking channelers, and I love asking psychics. Do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I laugh at that because, those scary movies, those thrillers that I go to the movie theater every once in a while, and I'll go to them, and I'm the one screaming out loud and got my nails dug into my partner's arm, like literally I'm the one jumping, and I just look at him and I said, if it was like that, I wouldn't do it. Absolutely not. And it's not like that. And I remember in the beginning of my sessions, when I first started doing homes and stuff,
right,
I wanted the people who were coming in contact with, say, ghosts or spirit that were seemed malicious, were making a lot of noise, opening cupboards, running up and down stairs, like really, it felt violent. I remember going in and feeling at first that, okay, I'm going to be really strong and I'm going to beat them, right? And then I realized that doesn't work. What did work was compassion and love and unity. And I would instantly send those, you can call ghosts or spirit, I would instantly ask them what the last time they ate and what year it was. And as I sent that information over, I got their story instantly. And I could feel they knew instantly from me what was really going on. So a lot of times they don't realize that they've even passed, and they feel like someone's disrupting their How
can they not know they're dead, for goodness sake? They the entire physical world that they have been aware of for the duration of their life no longer exists. They can't eat. They can't sleep. They can't go to the pub for a beer. They can't even go to Tim Hortons for a coffee. Damn it!
Well, imagine reliving the same day over and over and over again.
Welcome to my world.
Maybe you're dead.
That would explain a few things.
We can do a session afterwards, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
I have been getting stuff off of you, just so you know. I can message it to you afterwards.
Oh, is it anything bad?
Oh, it's all bad. You were in so much trouble.
All right, let's share it with the audience. Go on. I share with my audience. I've got nothing to hide.
Well, there's also angel numbers, right? So I did get 333 for you, and I also did get 444. So both of them are, and I feel like one of them is for your partner. Okay? So it's relating to that. Also, for an aura around you, what I've been shown is the darker blue. And so it tells me that you're in a trusted position with some people who may be vulnerable, okay?
Sure.
Also recovering, and you recover very quickly, but I feel that you've recovered from something. And I'm just wondering about 20 years ago, I keep getting something there as well. And faith. And I feel that you do have the gift of prophecy based on calculation, and so I feel that you look to, which a lot of people do, is like a material evidence of it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting from that person, but I'm going to wait and see, for them to do or say something that confirms it, right?
Oh, you're right on the money.
Yeah. And you know what? Acceptance is key. And when you were talking about your grandson, I got something about a birthmark. And he has a white aura, light around him. It's very beautiful. And a lot of times it's a protection so not to be read. It's very, very strong, very, very glowing. It's beautiful. And I do, and also, do you have a tattoo?
Nope.
You don't have a tattoo?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Nope. None of that stuff on this boy's body.
I was just wondering, is it his father that has a tattoo? Because I got a male tattooed around him.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. My Uncle Joe, who passed, had tattoos.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, and he was very close.
Yeah.
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 It's so bad because here my uncle passed 6 months ago. He was my godfather. He was very close to me. He was my inspiration. Whenever my dad wasn't around, my Uncle Joe was around. He was like my second dad, and my Aunt Barbara, who was Uncle Joe's wife, was like my second mom. Well, godmother and godfather, right? They lived down the street and the whole bit. And to this very day, I sometimes forget that he's gone.
Yeah. Well, he's very much still around because, like I said, I picked up on the tattooed man, and I believe that he's around your grandson a lot, and your grandson may be even seeing him or in contact with him.
I don't know. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
No, this is one show where people can, you're right, people can feel safe here, and I go out of my way to make them feel safe. However, if I feel that someone is out to screw with my listeners or screw with me, I hold their feet to fire.
That's good.
Yeah, people need to be responsible and be responsible for their actions.
Yeah.
And I can tell by talking to you that's the kind of person you are. You're very sensitive. You're very sincere. And it's been a great hour talking to you. I'm so happy you dropped by and joined us tonight, Nancy.
I'm so grateful that you asked me. It's quite an honor. And that was the one thing that I wanted to say as well, is your compassion and your honor. And you walk with grace on the planet. And that doesn't mean that you're walking around like Grace Kelly.
Damn it. Just kidding out there. Just kidding. I'm not J. Edgar Hoover reincarnated. Not this boy. So are you going to come back and visit us in the future?
Absolutely.
All right. Nancy, let our listeners know how they can contact you for a one-on-one consultation with you.
Well, you can contact me through my website at nancyfortier.com, LinkedIn, Facebook. It's all the same name. I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, all over the place. And my phone number is 519-577-3479. You can call or text.
And don't call up for pizzas and use that number, gang. That's a no-no. Nancy, take care of yourself. It's been great talking to you, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet here in the X Zone.
Thanks, Rob.
So long, Nancy.
Bye-bye.
X Zone Nation, Nancy Fortier has been my guest this hour. www.nancyfortier.com. That's www.nancyfortier.com. And like she said, she's all over the internet. All you have to do is go to different search engines, put in her name, and all the information will be there. Now, I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on all, and I mean all, social networks, X Zone Radio TV. And you can always send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. My name is Rob McConnell, and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network, as well as our good friends at the Starcom Radio Network. Don't forget, Wednesday, September 30th, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m., Stanton Friedman debates Michael Horn on the they're going to be discussing the Billy Meyer case. No holds barred, because these two people are gentlemen, and it's going to be a great 2 hours. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial set as we continue right here from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.